but
I hate undefined. Undefined really scares me.
But see, there's a difference between having undefined and knowing that the other person cares about you, and having undefined that's just like screwing around.
It's true. Like, but even the undefined, like, even if the other person cares about you, Howie, I feel like how can you be so sure?
You can't because you never talk about it because it's undefined and you're not allowed to talk about it. It goes against the rules
like if you have definition, at least you have some sort of like
we admit we love it.
Safety box, you know? Like here's my promise and your promise and that's it.
And nothing could ever break that, right?
No, that it could be broken. And then you deal with shit. But like at least it feels safe for the moment. Like, why am I putting in all the time and effort for undefined?
I think we've all done it. We've all put in the time and effort for people who
didn't deserve it.
Didn't
give it back.
And didn't give it back.
That's the major problem, I think, that didn't give it back.
How are you sure in the moment if they give it back?
You can tell when someone's not giving it back to you.
Me not knowing how I felt about him might have just been I didn't know how I felt about him. I had this idea in my head of this is the fantasy relationship. This is what everybody wants, and this is supposed to be. This is supposed to be. How can I stop loving him? But it was supposed to be. And so I figured
What's supposed to be?
It was just it's just that
fairy tale.
When you love somebody for a long time, you make those plans. You make plans, and you talk about where this is we're gonna live here and you promise so many things to each other. And then you start to think, but I made all these promises. How can that change? And you don't take into account the fact that it can change. So I thought that by me not knowing how I felt about him, I was failing somehow in my feelings for him. That I was confused, and I didn't know what I wanted. And then I thought about it, and I really thought that for a long time. I never told him I couldn't say I love you, but I never told him I didn't love him. And I realized afterwards that I was using that to make myself feel better, because the only thing worse than him not loving me was me not loving him. Because then I would doubt myself. Because I didn't know who I was if I didn't love him.
Because he became such
a large part of my life, that what would my life be like if he wasn't in it? I realized I'm not that different. I'm not that different without him.
Yeah, but it's scary.
It's hard to grasp onto. It's hard to say, well, this is how my life is now.
I don't know why I never broke up with Sarah, because I really should have. I'm not even saying that because she broke up with me first, but because I really should have broken up with her. Like, the last few months when I finally let go, I don't think I should have let go. I think it was a warning sign for me to say, Sherry, you don't want to be with her. Let it go. Just let it. And I don't know why I couldn't.
Because it's better to be with someone than to be alone.
I don't know.
That's why all of my relationships are twice as long as they should be.
That's not the way I thought about it. The way I thought about it was, well, I don't love her anymore, but that's my problem because I promised to love her, and so I have to love her.
I know, but when
I have to fix it for me.
But when you're having inner dialogue, where you're like looking at this person and thinking, what do I see in this person? Like, I don't know. I started thinking that in my last relationship, like, what do I see in this person? And you can't keep convincing yourself that they're the person you think they are, or the person you want them to be. It's just... Yeah, the person you want them to be. Because they're only going to be the person they are. But what I wonder is, do we ever find the person that we want them to be? Like, I don't know. I don't think we're going to find... I don't think we're going to find... Aren't we all? I don't know. Does anybody actually make a list of this would be the perfect man for me? No. I think 12. Well, yeah, when we were younger, didn't you, like, what is your, like, perfect mate like?
I still remember my list.
Qualities
I still remember my list when I was 12. Was thus. Was thus. Did you use that word when you were 12? No, I didn't. I remember making this up in Hebrew school, too.
Oh, God, Hebrew school.
Oh, my God, it's a Jewish one. It's a Jewish one. Well, A, he had to be Jewish. He had to be Jewish. B, he had to be funny and have a really good sense of humor. C, he had to, I still remember this, and this is, I think, a damning quality. He had to be smarter than me.
Ooh.
Oh, that's
Because I didn't want to be
Why?
with someone who couldn't keep up a
Why
conversation.
not someone why not someone equal to you? Or is it something that like you want them to be smart enough so that, and acquiring knowledge all the time so that they're always stimulating you?
It was I don't want them to not be able to hold an intellectual conversation with me.
Okay, but why smarter then?
Why smarter than as opposed to as smart as?
I don't know. I remember specifically using the word smarter. And
One partner has to be better.
No,
so
definitely
keeping
not.
up competition.
no. Well, I kind of feel like that with Jonathan intellectually. Oh, I feel so like deficient. And I realize that's why it's a damn equality. Like, don't be with someone who's smarter than you. What?
It's not a good person to be in a relationship
No.
with, someone that makes you feel like that. That's
Well,